The 96 draft class is argued to be the greatest draft class in the league's history, as it produced talents that is argued to be some of the greatest ever, and left a significant impact and contribution that still carries on in the game's legacy to this day. Even though you should know the names, of course, let me refresh your mind. Kobe Bryant, Allen Iverson, Ray Allen, Steve Nash, and many more. But the person who I will be covering in this video is also a legendary talent from this iconic class. Similar to the player I spoke about in my previous video, he is also a forgotten gem of the time, as he was one of the most electric point guards who is criminally underrated. He is also one of the fundamental leaders for the street ball culture in the A. On his best nights, he was going toe-to-toe with the best to prove why he was one of the best in the world. And he hails from my co-host's beloved hometown of New York City. Meet Stephon Xavier Marbury, known to you guys as Stephon Marbury, the sensationally skilled, explosive, athletic scoring gem of the 2000s. At 6'2", Marbury was quick, explosive, athletic, and had a lethal first step to show his greatest strength, as he was a slasher who loved to get to the cup and find any creative way possible to finish at the rim. He was blessed with the elite ball handling and crossover skill package to be a playmaker, as he can create for himself and others off the dribble. Everything about his game screamed street ball. Well, just look at the NBA Ballers cover. And to add on to that, he has that New York City grit and toughness. You could see he was made to entertain and be a star, hence coining and earning the nickname Starbury. Drafted 4th overall by the Milwaukee Bucks, Steph will quickly witness the business side of the league, when on draft night he will be traded to the Minnesota Timberwolves for the next pick in that draft, which was used to select another iconic name from that class, and Ray Allen, giving Marbury an opportunity to form a young dynamic duo with a rising superstar big in Kevin Garnett. He would have an immediate impact as a rookie, as he would average nearly 16 points a game, along with nearly 8 assists, earning a spot on the all-rookie first team, as him and KG would lead the T-Wolves to their first ever playoff berth in their franchise history. Despite being swept by the veteran experienced Houston Rockets, the Wolves put the league on notice as the team of the future and to be on the lookout for, as Steph would average 21 and 8 for the series. But unfortunately, that future hope and promise would never come to fruition, as it was short-lived. Even though he would increase his averages to 18 and 8 in his second season, as him and KG would once again lead the team back to the postseason in '98. By his third season, due to many personal and maybe selfish reasons, he wanted out of Minnesota. And despite averaging 18 and 9, Marbury's wishes would be granted, as midway through the '99 shortened season, he would be traded to the New Jersey Nets, where he would have his best individual seasons in his career. In 2.5 seasons with New Jersey, he would average 23 points and 8 assists a game, gaining an All-NBA honors with third team in 2000 and making his first ever All-Star team in the 2001 season, which he would average 24 a game that year. Despite all of his success individually, it never resulted in winning, as within that span, the Nets never made the playoffs with Steph as their main guy, and the organization decided it was time to go in a different direction, trading him to the Phoenix Suns during the 2001 offseason for superstar point guard Jason Kidd. As a Sun, he would continue to put up his usual averages with 21 and 8 within those seasons with the team, and even finding some team success along the way as the main option. In the 2002-03 season, with a young talented core that consisted of a young rookie Amari Stoudemire, Shawn Marion, and Joe Johnson, Marbury would lead the team to the postseason with a 44-38 record, as he would average 22 and 8 for the season, making another All-Star and All-NBA team. He would put up 22 points and 6 assists as they would lose in 6 games to the Spurs. But after the team failed to recreate that same magic midway through the '04 season, as they had a 12-23 record, the Suns would trade Marbury to the place where all of his basketball dreams started, his very own roots, the beloved New York Knicks, giving Marbury an opportunity to fulfill the dream that many kids long for, to play for his hometown team within the Garden. But as much as it looked to be a dream come true, in reality, it was more of a nightmare, as the Knicks were abysmal during Marbury's time there. Once being traded there, he will help the squad qualify for the postseason despite having a losing record, averaging 19-9 for the second half of the season with his new team. He will put up 21-6, but the squad will get swept by their tri-state rivals, the Nets. Then the team proceeded to never even get close to a chance of even sniffing the postseason, as they were consistently one of the worst teams within that decade. And nothing was going well for the golden kid from the mean streets of Coney Island, as Steph was on the decline, with his production dropping after each season, going from 22 and 13 points and from 8 assists to 5 assists within the span of the '05 season to the '08 season. Feuds and disputes within the organizations with coaches such as Larry Brown and Isaiah Thomas, along with other personal off-the-court problems, didn't help either. And just as we thought it was getting started, his time as a Knick was swiftly coming to its demise. And after both parties agreed to a buyout, Marbury was signed with the Celtics, with joining forces with his former teammate, KG. And after the end of that '09 season, it will be the last time we will see Marbury in an NBA jersey. But it's not the end of the Marbury story just yet, as he has become a legendary cultural overseas icon, gifting him with a statue. Finding peace and happiness after suffering through the pressures of expectations to make it to the NBA outside of the mean streets of NYC. But don't get it twisted. This legendary baller is a forgotten gem who was an extreme problem for defenses having a game plan for him nightly. And just like what I said about the player from my previous video, Starbury most definitely deserves his flowers also.